Okay. Here we go. Oh, what did I do? Did I break something? I think I'm live. Hello, hello. I see people already in YouTube chat. Apologies, I'm starting a few minutes late. So I'm late joining this tournament. Yeah, about 4 minutes late. But it's about 2.5 hours of rapid chess. Welcome in, everyone. Happy New Year. Happy January 2nd. Okay, first opponent. Is there sound? I'm not hearing any sound. Oh, sound. Oh, there we go. Okay. Okay, so for this stream, I'm going to play some new openings. Let's play the Nimzowitsch. I saw there were a few people mentioning openings in chat. Request for Polish opening. Okay, we have d3. Not the most active move, a little bit passive, shutting in the bishop.
Congratulations again.
Oh, thank you. Thank you, DeQ'd. Happy 67 months. Okay, so I'm just kind of going with some development setup. We're both kind of doing our own thing. This does resemble some sort of modern... White's playing in the style of a closed Sicilian. But it's not a closed Sicilian because I don't have a pawn on c5. Let's be ambitious. I'm going to play h5. Go for h4. Yeah, the h-pawn thrust against White's kingside fianchetto. Very often White will play h4 to stop me from playing h4. All right, let's play h3. Pawn goes all the way, harassing the bishop. Bishop f3. Do I have knight e5 threatening the bishop? Let's do it. I think White has to move the knight to defend. I wouldn't mind getting the bishop pair. Thank you to D-Lambs. Happy 9 months. Okay, knight to g1. So it's a big question. Do I want to take the bishop? If I don't, then I give White the chance to play bishop e2. I mean, if I take it, I kind of help White develop. So there's some trade-offs. Yeah, taking... I mean, knight takes and then bishop g4 looks really nice. I think I do take... Because if White develops, then White's kind of walking into a lot of pain. Maybe the queen should have taken there. Then the knight would be a bit stuck. Okay, so now I have a plan of just adding another attacker to this knight. Considering knight f6 to d7 to e5. There's also e6 and queen f6. Start with e6. Yeah, if I get the chance to play queen f6, it's, I think, game over. At least I'm winning the knight and then winning even more material. Some eventual fork skewer type thing.
Hi Eric, happy new year. My favorite opening is the Nimzowitsch Defense. Particularly the Kennedy variation. You should check it out.
Kennedy.
It scores really well percentage-wise for black all the way through the main line.
Well, thank you, Booty Snatcher. Happy 72 months. 6 years. I have not heard of the Kennedy variation. I've heard of Kennedy. I've also heard of the Nimzowitsch. Oh, this is not game over just yet. Interesting. Okay, g5 might be the final straw. e5 also looks enticing, but allows knight d5. g5 should do the job. The knight is still pinned. It's a super duper pin. Now I'll take with queen, I think is simplest. E4, knight c6, d4, e5. Oh, I've seen that before. Okay, do I just simplify? Okay, opponent resigns. Happy New Year to Piehole. Happy 81 months. A tier 2. Thank you, thank you. Okay, pretty smooth game. Yeah, maybe a few lessons from my opponent. It can be very unpleasant allowing this as white. So h4 is kind of a safer move. Even sometimes h3 to meet this with this is also solid. And then later, yeah, this bishop g4 pin. White did have queen e3 here, but then bishop h6 and white's still under a lot of pressure. So, let's just acknowledge the Kennedy variation. I'll go to the opening page on Lichess. We'll type in Kennedy, and we see it here. Sorry if the layout's not ideal. There's a link Springer variation. Oh, which is d5. Interesting. So we go into Opening Explorer. Yeah, it's definitely very playable. It could transpose into a Scotch if white plays knight f3. The d5 is probably the most principled. Just attack the knight, and then an idea for black is to play this.
Happy New Year.
If possible, the bishop can develop and get a game. Happy New Year. Okay, back to tournament. So good start. I'm not sure if I'm looking to try and win the tournament, but my main goal is to play a lot of new openings and hopefully a different opening every game too. Thank you, Dalmax. Thank you, Mingo RK.
London.
Hey, TJ, welcome back. Okay, maybe at some point we can have a London. Actress, welcome back.
Chill chess on a chilly day is chilly most.
All right, let's play knight f6. Playing Sir Flippers. And how about the King's Indian? Any King's Indian players watching? The trendy opening these days. I think it's always been a trendy opening. Oh, any chance of a Grünfeld? Okay. Well, a 10, is that 10 euros or 10 pounds? A generous super chat will dissuade me from playing King's Indian. We have a Grünfeld. To be honest, I don't know much theory in the Grünfeld, but I know the very basics. This is the start of the Grünfeld. Bishop g5 is a move. Now I'm on my own. Isn't there a line where you gambit, like castle, allow takes, takes, and takes, and then you get counterplay? It might be dangerous going into it with limited knowledge. Knight e4 also looks playable. I might go for knight e4. It's also some sort of gambit. I'm abandoning this pawn, but I'm unleashing the bishop. In many cases, I get counterplay in the center or the bishop pair. Yeah, Grünfeld is a very dynamic opening. It's an opening I've been slightly afraid to learn, though, because there's so much theory at a high level. There's a lot of things white can play against it. But it's definitely a good weapon to have in one's arsenal. Bishop f4. Okay. So it feels like I got a free tempo there, but there's still some questions in the center to answer. We could trade. Takes looks very reasonable. I think I just take and double the pawns. And maybe just castle. Maybe eventually c5. Let's do it. I don't want to burn too much time early on. But I do like c5 here. This is very typical in the Grünfeld to complement the bishop, exert some pressure in the center. There might be ideas of queen a5 to target c3. And I do want to complete my queenside development. And there's a few different ways to do it. Like I could maybe fianchetto. Could develop the bishop this way. The knight has a couple options. But I start with queen a5. Looking at this move, takes, and then check. Queen d2. This also looks nice as pawn takes c4. Make the bishop move again. And then queen a5. Even just knight c6. I'm not sure about queen a5 because castling. I don't know if I want to go after the pawn. Feels a little bit greedy, like it's counterplay. Maybe I'll take first and then decide. Let's take first. And now queen a5. Trying to stay flexible. Now it's a question to white, like do they want to defend the pawn? Nice thing about this move, I attack the pawn, but I also pin the pawn. So rook c1 I can take, and white can't take back towards the center. So queen d2 makes sense to defend and unpin, so if takes, it's a big trade. b5 looks almost attractive, but then it backfires. Knight c6 comes to mind. No, there's ideas of knight c6 and eventually e5. b6 also fails. Maybe knight c6 and like bishop g4? Okay, let's start with this. Just complete development, exert some pressure. This pawn is pinned to c3. Bibble Bobby is asking, are you feeling better today? Yes, thank you for asking. Towards the end of my stream yesterday, I was feeling, I don't know, feeling off, like lightheaded, low energy. But the chess felt good yesterday. I unknowingly hit like a peak rating on chess.com. Had a nice upset win. Actually, a few nice upset wins over Grandmasters. But today's stream, it's a bit slower chess, a bit more chill. I do have some coffee, which is helping with energy. So even though I don't really actively play the Grünfeld, I've seen enough Grünfeld games where I know this is a typical setup for black to have the pieces harmonize well, rooks very often will come in. And white has this solid-looking pawn formation, which can very often come under fire. E5 is definitely an idea to keep in mind, especially if I get in rook d8. Target the queen. I'm also trying to pose a question if bishop takes f3 is a threat. Maybe white can ignore it, but maybe I do want to take and damage the structure, and then later e5. Sometimes, especially in blitz or rapid, it's good to kind of pose these small questions to the opponent. Apply pressure, make them think. It creates more opportunities in the position. What you recommend for someone who likes chess but gets rating anxiety when it comes to online games? I think there's a setting like in Lichess and chess.com to like make ratings invisible so you don't even have to see them. Like, you could still play rated games, but you don't have to look, which maybe could help. Okay, so knight e5, interesting. Now if I take... Ooh, there's some funny lines. Briefly looking at this, but I don't think it works. So I probably take, and then, I mean, white has some weak pawns, rook d8. Okay, we could trade bishops. I'm also looking at takes, and then takes, but I think there's queen d4 there. So takes, rook d8, probably rook a8.
Less than 3.
Thank you for the love. All right, let's go into this. I was having a hard time evaluating this position. Also wasn't entirely sure which rook to move. I'm keeping f7 better defended. One nice thing, okay, let me make a move first. Maybe b6 or maybe queen c7. Attack the pawn, provoke f4. I don't mind the pawn push. I was going to say one nice thing is my bishop prevents the rook from coming to d1. So white can't immediately contest the only open file on the board. I guess there is h3 and then I have to retreat. I would move all the way back, like bishop c8 and then redevelop. f4 happens. What else to do? Briefly considering bishop e6. Bishop d7 as well. Let's go all the way back. Yeah, a little bit passive. f4 is probably coming. Ooh, e6. So I could take the pawn.
Eric.
Happy New Year. Thank you, thank you. I don't think I want to take that. I think I just want to play f6. Now it's a question, is the pawn a strength or a weakness? It is defended once and attacked once. I think I can probably have more attackers than white can have defenders. Maybe white will try the f-pawn thrust. Yeah, rook d1 I play rook d6. And I'm going to control the file. I'm also now attacking the pawn twice. Okay, white's preparing this, defending this, but I have this. So no rook d1. It is a question how I make progress from here. I'm comfortable though. It's hard for white to do much.
When I can get it, is the Vienna game, Stanley variation, Mike Nemisa's Gambit.
B6, A5. I'm gonna calculate here. B6, A5, bishop B7, take, rook B1, queen C6, F3. Not getting much. Rook D2, queen B6, rook takes. Maybe I'm just in time. I think I'm just in time there. I'm gonna play this. So I'm calculating like a 5-move line that ends with a rook sack for checkmate. Maybe I missed something, but I think there's a lot of value in having the diagonal. Okay, bishop d5 looks pretty good. I was maybe looking to try and play rook d1. Wait, if bishop c4, what's happening? I take then rook d1. Maybe I just take here. That's turning into a blitz game. I guess we could repeat in that line too. I mean, any other move, I guess I should acknowledge this move. C4, take, rook d1. But then I keep everything defended. I'll be up a pawn. Same thing with the queen moving anywhere. So I mainly focus on this. White plays it. Take. I don't want to trade bishops. I feel like my bishop's better than white's. Bishop a8 maybe? I'm not exactly sure what that does, but it gives white the option. Okay, never mind. So again, rook d1's a threat. But do I have... No, c4 doesn't work. I want to play this, but then there's this. So repeat, trade, and then take the pawn. Okay. I'm going for this. I don't think I should be worse here. I'm just not sure if I'm better. Just realizing, if this I have rook b8. Wait, rook b8. Does it do anything? Maybe queen b6 first? Yeah, keep the pawns defended. Preparing rook d6. This might end up liquidating. Okay, I'm going to set up a funny trap. This is slight hope chess. If takes, then check, and I win the queen. Yeah, good move. Ugh. I still have some idea. Not sure how to make it work, though. Yeah, that's not the move I wanted to play. That's what I get for trying to play Hope Chess. So now my plan is to try and still exploit the pawn. It is still equal material. Life goes on. Maybe I should have played f5 first. White could have played e4 and then get the pawn to e5. So the king is constantly attacking the pawn. That's a good move. Gotta go for this. Do I have rook b6? No. Maybe? Rook. Let's take first. Not sure about this. Time is becoming more relevant. Getting closer. Rook c6, king e5. It's a grind down. Now it's looking good, position-wise and time-wise. Win the pawn. I'm probably losing this, but white's king is further from the king side. Rook c2 maybe was winning. But this is, yeah, this is winning now. Or is it? Yeah. Okay. Good fight. Yeah, white made my life difficult. I think I was in good control throughout. Although, yeah, I maybe got carried away with queen c7. I wasn't sure like how to try and maximize advantage. Maybe I don't have an advantage at this point. Minus 0.8. Rook d6. Yeah, I was calculating this. Oh, and then rook d1. I saw this possibility. King h2. Oh, I can play the queen ending. And then have the passer. I don't want to take because takes, but then...
Happy New Year's.
Yeah, this is hard to judge.
Nice to see you again, smile.
a5 allows white to equalize.
Thank you for the chess.
Oh, thank you, FB3 the third. Thank you, Braxton Hicks. Thank you, Russman. Thanks, everyone, for being here. Appreciate the good vibes. Yeah, probably a lot to take away from this game. I don't want to analyze too long, but just take a look at these moments. Let's check the opening. Okay, happy with how I played. Yeah, this trade was good for Lac. Oh, engine likes b5 here. This is also fine.
When was the last time you encountered a goose?
A goose. It's been a while. I don't remember. I don't think I saw any geese in Asia. Okay, I could have taken and kind of slow played with king g7. But, oh, yeah, I did take eventually. I didn't have to take on b5. Okay, well, GG. Top 100. 2 games played so far. I guess I've kept my distance from most geese. So which opening to play next? We've had I've been black both games this stream. Started with a Nimzowitsch against e4. And then just had a Grünfeld. Both openings worked out nicely. Stafford Gambit. I'm white this game. The very first request in YouTube chat was not c4, but b4. I'll play a Polish. Not something I play so often.
Congrats on your recent news, Eric. And happy
Oh, thank you. Good to see you, Korean American chess noob. Hope you're doing well. Happy New Year. Okay, so Polish opening. Black's playing some sort of King's Indian, Kingside Fianchetto. I could take the knight, but I don't want to give away such a nice bishop. So I'll go for a double Fianchetto. Maybe g4 was an option there too. But I'll try and be slightly sane. Okay, c6. Oh, some people asking what recent news. For anyone that missed it, I did get married. There was a social media post. There were a few social media posts. So I do appreciate everyone offering all the kind words and congratulations. At some point, my wife will make an appearance on stream. Okay, this is some sort of like modified hippo. Actually, I did see a hippo recently. Saw a few hippos. We did some drive-through safari in Indonesia, and you basically drive through different animal exhibits. And there is a hippo exhibit. And we threw watermelon at the hippo, and it was very happy. It's like real life hungry hippo. But hippo is usually pawn on b3, pawn on d3, and knight on d2. I guess d3 makes sense. Yeah, slightly more aggressive hippo. Pawn on b4. Are hippos from Africa? There's at least a couple hippos in Indonesia. I saw them with my own eyes. Okay, so we've both been doing our own thing. Who's going to be the first one to be confrontational? I might go for c4. I think this is a nice pawn break. Combines nicely with the bishop on g2. Oh, thank you, Bemjanin. First time Prime on Twitch. Appreciate that. So b6. Black is also maybe going for the double fianchetto.
Happy New Year. Congratulations, Eric. Smile.
Thank you, Marius. Happy 20 months and Happy New Year too. I think I'll just keep improving. Queen b3. So far, I have not really thought ahead this game. It's just basically one move ahead. A bunch of developing and improving moves. It is a small question where my rooks want to go. There's no open files in the position, so in such cases, you usually want to put the rooks on the files which are likely to open. Okay, black is creating the pawn chain. Now there's tension. Yeah, this is heating up. Take. Almost winning a pawn. Like takes, and then knight c3. I think black would have to play c5 there. But c5 is solid, I guess. I could play b5. Increase tension even more. b5 hurts my head. But if I play it, it might hurt my opponent's head too. Oh, but it just walks into this. Okay. Yeah, it definitely hurts me more than it hurts black. So what to do? Do I take here first? Take. I have a weird idea. Take here. I'm going to start with this. I think this is okay to start with. Again, only thinking one move ahead. Expecting... Oh, I didn't see this. If pawn takes, I was considering c5, but okay, this is different. So now... I guess we just trade. Like, takes knight, takes bishop. Maybe I still have the c5 idea. Black could take on b2 first, but doesn't. Oh, f5 is coming, okay. Or is it? Because I have c5 still. Take. I'm burning time.
What to do?
What to do? Life's biggest question. Yeah, take on g7, I guess. The d file is very important. Just scared of like f5 and then knight coming to d3. I really want to play this as a nice like positional clamp. Maybe I can do it. It allows bishop a6 ideas though. Yeah, I'm second guessing like every idea in this position. Queen b2. Okay, queen b2, king goes back. I'm not stopping knight e5. What about knight c3, f5? Okay, I'm going to start with knight c3. It's taking too long. At least provoke f5. Maybe I just try and focus on the d file. I'm also not predicting my opponent's moves, which is slightly frustrating. Okay, do I have rook? Let's put the rook on d1. So I'm down over 3 minutes. But at least there's some harmony. The queen might be overworked, defending the knight and the pawn. I'm probably threatening to take. There's also ideas of planting the knight on d5. What was the drawback of black committing the c-pawn? And this doesn't quite work because I take on e4, I think. Can I win a pawn now? Take? There's a massive trade? Wait, take. Take. I get active rooks. Yeah, let's do it. It might just be equal, but maybe I'm like slightly better with more active rooks. I might actually win the pawn in the end. So the calculation is takes, and then takes. And it'll be a rook ending. 4-on-3 against outside passer. Again, I'm not predicting my opponent's moves, but okay, this probably just transposes. Unless, do I have something like bishop somewhere, queen somewhere? Yeah, it shouldn't take too long. Wow. What is this move? Okay, this should be good for me because I can... First of all, I could take the knight. Takes and then takes. But I could also just play queen b2. Saving the queen, checking the king, and then I'll save the bishop. d5 is a really nice square. And I should be up a clean pawn here. e4. I want to win a7. Could take and play rook d4. What about queen a2? Oh, queen a2 gets forked. Queen a3 maybe? I don't think there's any reason to take. Wait, the bishop's such a strong piece. A wooden shield. This move doesn't scare me. Take, I guess b4 drops. Let's start with h4. So I've burned a lot of time, but definitely making progress. The knight's very awkward on g5. If it goes into my crib, then it probably doesn't come out. Now I can take knight c3. Oh, knight c3 hangs a queen. Oh, let's be careful. Maybe I just take the thing now. Let's take the thing. Simplify a bit. Up 2 pawns. Yeah, I really just have to watch my time. expecting this move. Play rook here. I do concede the a-file, but then I can trade queens. Maybe. Maybe. Either trading queens or winning this pawn. Or both, potentially. I like rook f4 first. A nice defensive piece, but also attacking piece. March forward. Yeah, b4 is defended, c-pawn's ready to push. Lift. I don't mind the check. Maybe I should mind a little bit with this idea. It's not happening. Okay, I'm allowing this because it doesn't happen. I just gotta play quickly now. I do want some mating attack. Threading mate in 1. I should have just gone in. No, this is not simple, or is it? It's slightly annoying still. Okay, now I go in. Threading mate. If rook f7, I win this rook. Okay, maybe not the smoothest conversion, but still getting the job done. Take this. Oh no. Oh no, okay. For a moment I thought there was some stalemate trick, but the g-pawn can move. Yeah, if there's no g-pawn, like for example, takes, imagine the pawn's not here, and queen h1 would force a draw. Or maybe black could have tried this and then pray for something like this. But, okay. I think I was in good control. Just took some effort. Yeah, things got confusing around here. All this tension. So the engine likes leaving the tension. Just put the rooks in the center. Play knight f4. Yeah, f5 is a better move, and then black is probably slightly better. Okay, well, still a fun game stemming from the Polish opening. Let's keep it going. Also, thank you, Asnavor. First time Prime, appreciate it.
Happy New Year, Rosen Duck.
Happy New Year. There's a question from Berserk. I want to learn Stafford Gambit properly. What YouTube videos from your channel do you recommend the most? There's a Stafford Gambit playlist. Probably some of the earlier videos in that playlist are the most like instructive, where I break down the different traps and tricks. Okay, I'm playing e4. And let's have another new opening. Alapin? I don't play too much Alapin Sicilian. Definitely a trendy opening these days. Even at top level. Like Magnus played this at World Blitz to draw a niche and clinch the title. D5. E5 might be the most principled. I'm going to take. Queen comes in and yeah, it's a more open position. For anyone that plays Alapin, you can get these positions a lot. There is a nice trap after bishop g4, which maybe I can show after the game. Okay, I'll attack the queen. Bishop d3, I just want a castle. There is a trap here. If takes, 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 I win the queen. Okay. My opponent maybe moved a little bit too quickly there. When I castled, I had a pretty big threat. Unpinning the knight. My opponent is probably not the first person to make this blunder. We can check in the Lichess database. Master's database, h6 is a novelty. Lichess database. h6 has been played 85 times before. There's actually some transpositions too, so this position has been reached 97 times. Yeah, going back. This line is playable for black. e6 is fine. The trap I wanted to show is bishop g4, bishop e2. And now, maybe at first glance, it looks like black can win the pawn, but it's a poison pawn. If takes, 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 then white wins the queen for free with bishop takes e6. Check, and then take the queen next. I admire the 1600 people who played queen d7, ending the pain immediately. Okay, successful Alapin. Moving on, 30th place. Thank you to Quo Vadis, happy 2 months. Again, if there's any openings people want to see, let me know. There's a question, what's your streaming schedule like? I've been traveling recently and yeah, dealing with some jet lag, so the schedule's kind of sporadic and all over the place. I am hoping to be more consistent in the coming days and weeks. Today is my second day in a row streaming this year. Also the second day in a row of the year. Okay, let's play knight f6. A previous game I was gonna play a King's Indian, and then I got bribed into playing a Grünfeld, so let's actually play a King's Indian. And to be completely honest, I don't really know theory. I know knight a6 at some point is a move. Let's play knight a6 here. And the idea is to play like e5 and eventually knight c5. It might be a little bit dangerous to improvise against a decently high-rated opponent. But yeah, I should really take the time to at least learn the basics here. Now it does look like I just blundered a pawn, which hopefully I did not blunder. If takes, there's, I think, counter tactics. Rook b1 feels a little bit peculiar. Is white preparing b4? I'm on my own here. Considering bishop g4, which I think I will play. Like this King's Indian bishop, very often it doesn't develop, it just kind of waits on c8. Or when it does develop, it trades off for the knight or the bishop. Okay, bishop e3. So reinforcing the center. And now, do I just take to keep things simple? And then c6? Or c6 immediately? Let's play c6 immediately. I'll keep some tension. I should probably play rook e8 at some point. And this structure is very new for me. Like, I don't usually play this sort of position from either side. I have seen strong players, mainly Hikaru, play a lot of these structures. Sometimes it just takes a lot of games, a lot of reps to get a good feeling for the position. But c6 has some benefits, restricting the knight, enabling the potential knight maneuver. And again, if takes, I think I just trade. Yeah, we trade, and eventually I win the pawn on e4, so it should be fine. I actually have a time advantage, which I feel like is a rare occurrence in my games as tournaments. But clearly my opponent is out of their opening prep as well. So h3, I think this is just an automatic take. Rook e8 looks natural. I think I do want to keep tension. Queen e7 as well. I'll start with rook e8. d5, okay. Now, yeah, now I actually kind of regret putting the rook here, because there are plans of eventually rook f8 and preparing f5. I guess this rook b1 move makes sense. b4 may be coming. I want to play knight c5 and a5, but I'm not fast enough. Do I take? Maybe just knight c7. Or do I play c5? Close things down. Okay, I'm gonna play a move which I don't know is objectively best, but at least I feel like I have a decent understanding now of the middle game. The center is completely closed down, so the focus of play shifts to the wings, the queen side and king side. And white's gonna play b4, but my idea is I just kind of hold my ground, and maybe I can do something on the king side. I might just play rook f8. Like, I do want to eventually play f5. We might see this move. Yeah, this could be slightly unpleasant. I think I still hold my ground, like queen c8. If ever b5, then things close down even further. If takes, I take with a knight. There is like queen a4, queen c8, knight b5 attacking this, but then like even knight e8 or rook d8 just defending hopefully is okay. I noticed, I think across both Twitch and YouTube chat, there have been questions about, am I striving for the Grandmaster title? I've been pretty inactive with classical chess. My last classical FIDE event was over a year ago, almost a year and a half ago. It was August 2024. I didn't play a single classical game in 2025. But I've still been active with chess, obviously, and doing my best to keep learning, keep improving, even if it's just online, rapid and blitz. Okay, here I have a choice. Taking this way probably makes the most sense. The reason to consider this is it frees the d6 square for the knight blockade. I'll take a moment here. The more I'm looking at this, the more I'm leaning towards taking with the d-pawn. It still feels like I'm slightly worse in both lines. I think this gives me more ideas in the position. And white also has ideas like this stuff, even this and this. Hey, it's Dina. Thank you for the raid. Appreciate it. Happy New Year. I did see Dina was doing some New Year Blitz. Hope you had a good stream. If you're just joining, I'm attempting to play the King's Indian, but I'm not sure if it's going so successfully. White is trying to induce some weaknesses. I'm trying to just hold my ground. I do have a happy knight now. C4 is a long-term potential weakness. And now F5 is ready to go. Yeah, bishop e2 makes sense. Do I go for F5? Let's do it. In such cases where there's such an easy move, I just play it and then think later. And this might come, and I always have rook b8 though. Another raid, 2 big raids. Key Whiskey, thanks so much. Happy New Year. Yeah, shout out to Key Whiskey and Dina Balankaya, sending in their audiences. I think that was less than a minute apart. Hope both of you had good streams. Again, if you're just joining, doing some instructive rapid chess, trying out some new openings. I have managed to win all my games so far. But this is definitely one of my bigger fights so far. And it's heating up. Like on the clock, but also on the position. Queen c2 makes me happy. It's a sign that I have time to do stuff. White's not making any threats, I don't think. But can I do anything? I just improve, like bishop h6? I think I just start with this. I didn't want to commit to f4. I want to keep the tension. If ever f3, the bishop just slides in. And I might end up slow playing a little bit. Like rook f7, king h8, maybe eventually g-pawn thrust. Although I can't really move the g-pawn without dealing with this tension. So maybe queen h4 is an idea. The ideal setup might be a rook f7, queen h4, rook a f8, and then just target f2, just abandon the b-pawn. I know the King's Indian has a reputation of being maybe slightly dubious at the top levels, but like long-term, black maintains all these attacking chances, especially in such structures on the king side. Okay, so white wants to double up and win a pawn. Yeah, I'm thinking rook f7. I don't want to play queen h4 too soon. But maybe I wait for this and then... let's play rook f7. Like once the rook leaves the defensive f2, then I go in. This is a flexible move. Like I free the f8 square, also maybe prepare the double up. The a file I don't think is so relevant. Yeah, I think it's time. So I'm abandoning the b pawn, focusing on hopefully the more important areas of the board. e4 is now attacked 3 times. I guess I didn't fully calculate. Like rook takes b6. For some reason I thought white couldn't play, but I guess it is a move. I should really be calculating. Rook b6, pawn takes pawn, rook takes knight. So I sack a knight, but is there a follow-up? Maybe I just take on e4? There's rook b8. So maybe... maybe do I play bishop f8? This might not work out like tactically, but it's working out psychologically. Like, I've confused my opponent enough to drain most of their time. I really have to be ready for this move. I'm calculating rook b6, pawn takes pawn, rook takes knight, and then rook takes f2, knight takes e4. Seems so close. Okay, white did not take the pawn. So I think my bluff kind of paid off. But the pawn's still hanging. Maybe now I play this? Yeah, let's just play this. There's no way white's going to checkmate me in less than a minute. And yeah, it's just practical speed chess. Take with knight. And then knight comes to e4, so maybe I should take with pawn. But then the f5 closes and I lose this. This is randomly hanging. I take it? Because I defend, takes. I think I take on c4. Take. It's a huge mess. I have no idea if this works, but again, sometimes when the opponent's low on time, you just want to make things messy. Okay, that attacks my knight. This would save the knight and attack the rook. And then maybe I recapture. And then once I recapture, the g file becomes half open. But the knight lands on d6. What is happening? Yeah, knight d6 is actually kind of a big threat. So I do have this move. Take. Wait, knight d6. So take knight d6, rook g7. Takes. Ugh. Defends h3. What about c4? Let's start with c4. Tempo move. Attack the bishop. And, oh, now I can take. Again, attacking the bishop. And if here I just trade material. Okay, this is actually working out beautifully. The attack is in full swing. And pawns on light squares restrict this bishop and complement this bishop. Okay. Knight b3. Oh, there's a funny mate. Okay, let's start with this and then look to sack the queen for mate. Nope, that was a mouse slip. I don't think it changes much. There's queen c3 check. Okay. A small mouse slip in the end there. Not the worst move ever, but I wanted to play this to set up this. Just to show, like, if I play this, I could say, oh no, I'm getting forked. Someone call an ambulance. And then I could say, oh no, my queen. Someone call an ambulance. But not for me. This is a dream ending. Crazy game. I feel like I was worse. I was definitely worse at multiple points this game. You can see the engine graph. It was actually worse most of the game. Yeah, it's the concept of like long-term King's Indian compensation. So knight c4 was a blunder. Also, I messed up the layout, sorry. Yeah, we can go back. I just want to see the theory. So knight a6 is a move. I have Master's database because this is, has the names of like good players. Castle. So e5, this is theory. Rook b1, pretty rare move, but has been played by grandmasters. And okay, maybe I made some slight inaccuracy. Bishop g4 is still playable, though. We strayed away from theory. Yeah, rook e8, it seemed pretty innocuous, but this turned out to be maybe a positional mistake, because once white plays d5, my rook belongs on f8 to eventually support the f5 push, as far as I can understand. So my opponent, I think, understood the position better than me. Engine says I should take and play this structure. Knight c5, queen e7. And then later, did I make the right decision? Okay, dc5 slightly better over bc5. Yeah, engine's always giving slightly better for white. Oh, white had g3 to remove my queen from defending the knight. But then things turned around, and yeah, here life was very good. Okay, GG. Need to take a mental breather after that game. I'll return to the tournament. Got just over an hour left. I think I'll play the whole tournament. At least I have time for a few more games. Yeah, definitely not in contention to win the tournament. Leader has 38 points. I have 16. Again, we're between games, so this is a time to share your favorite opening or openings in chat. Not sure which color I'll be, but yeah, every game I am trying to play a different opening, trying to experiment with new openings. Playing this person, black again. Alien Gambit. I can't play the Alien Gambit against t4. England Gambit is kind of risky against a strong player. Let's play d6. If c4 and knight f3, I'll play a Leningrad Dutch. Okay. There's at least one person who said Leningrad Dutch. Leningrad Dutch is basically this pawn formation with eventual g6, bishop g7 castle. White appears to be doing random things, so I'll just do my own thing. Some London setup. The main break I want to go for is pawn e5. I think the way to prepare it is queen e8. Knight d7. I might start with c6. Because there are cases where like knight d7 can be met with pawn d5 and then white kind of clamps down. So c6 kind of keeps things flexible. Yeah, I'm kind of just ignoring white's a-pawn thrust. I'll prepare this. Wow, my opponent's played 80,000 games. Over 80,000 games. Is the Dutch defense refuted? At the highest level, it has maybe a slightly dubious reputation, but
any chance we can get
there's no obvious refutation.
Less than 3.
Halloween Gambit. Very possibly. I'm probably due for another E4 opening. Thank you, Matt. Welcome back. Happy 46 months. So I'm getting what I want here. This E5 thrust. E4 looks nice. Although I might want to keep this chain against the bishop. Like, the plan might be to play h6, g5, f4. As tempting as this is, like e4 and d5, then the bishop does kind of pierce through the position. Okay, I'm going to start with this. The calm before the pawn storm. Thank you, Chris Arnun. Happy 15. Okay, g5. And this is also nice because it allows the queen to maybe improve. Oh, knight c4. Did not acknowledge. Knight c4 is kind of annoying. Pressuring this and this. I do have knight e4, which might be one of my only options. Yeah, I don't really have too many options here. Like, queen defending the pawn loses this. I think I have to play this. I do have the resource queen e6 to pin the knight to the queen, which might be relevant very soon. Okay, white takes. I'm pausing here. I mean, this is the obvious recapture, which I think I just do. I was briefly considering some knight c5. But I'd rather save it for, like, if white plays bishop d3, then this can be venomous. Even this. I still probably want to play f4 eventually. Like, not only to shut down this bishop, but also to open this bishop. Yeah, white's still maybe creating ideas of knight d6. So maybe now queen e6. I'm reluctant to play this, even though it's a nice, like, tempo move against the queen. Just queen c2 and then b4 happens. I'm calculating though. Knight c5, queen c2, f4, b4, bishop f5, take. Do I have any discoveries? Knight f2. Hitting the queen. If I win the rook and the pawn, the problem is this pawn is weak in the end. Maybe I have e4? It's interesting. Maybe I start with f4 though. I'm gonna start with f4. We might transpose into that line. At least with this, I'm not committing to knight c5. Yeah, it's getting pretty crazy. There's definitely some, like, overlap in, I guess, the types of positions you get from Dutch and King's Indian, where, yeah, long term, like, maybe white has a positional advantage, but also long term, black has a lot of attacking potential. That move I was not expecting. So So which file to open? E file or G file? She feels like a big decision. Like this opens the bishop and the queen, but this completely shuts down this bishop and allows for some G file play. It's hard to calculate. But intuitively, I feel like this is actually better. And there might be potential for moving the knight and then playing e4 and pawn storming the center. Okay, here I think we trade. Not much else to consider. I mean, knight c5, no. I'm just not sure what I'm doing next. I don't like playing such a move and not being sure what I'm doing next. Like, do I consider knight c5? Take. There's takes e4? Oh man. I have to watch out for knight h4 ideas. I think I go for e4, knight h4, knight e5. It's dangerous to play this without doing so much calculation. So at first this looked scary, but I think after knight e5, I control the key squares. Yeah, we're both trying to attack on the king side. Crazy position. I like the center though. Do I have this move? Double attack? White would have knight g6. That's a forcing line. I could start with taking too. Wow. So take. Okay, take, queen e7, knight g6, take. E3. I think I just do it. B-pawn. B-pawn's not relevant. It's also defended now too. Okay, so I think white has to play this. Oh, there's this move too I forgot about, but then I take. Yeah, this is a calculation. Now e3. It's so hard to evaluate. So the idea is if takes, king h1 f3. Queen b7 would threaten mate. I take. Feels like I should be faster there. At the very least, I have perpetual. I mean, white has an additional 3 minutes to calculate this position. Oh man. So it's equal material. And this rook is a potential target. Like maybe there's tactics to attack it. Always gotta watch out for the rook sack. Rook e1, e2. Okay, we're going into this line. I think I have to take. Now f3 I think is critical. Just don't see the win. Oh no, I see a win after queen b7. Okay. I open the bishop, but this square is covered. So if takes, I take, and then just check and win the rook. I'm not sure what move to expect. Like, white has to deal with this threat of take, queen e4. So I guess rook g1, I take, and then... Oh, it's so close. Check. Bishop g1, check. Rook h2, check. Rook g2. And that's got to be winning somehow. I think white's in trouble. Now I'm only down less than 2 minutes. There's queen c2. If queen c2, do I just promote? That move I didn't see coming. Rook h6 ideas. Do I have... Wow, take, check, king g1. Is there nothing? It's crazy if there's nothing. Not seeing it. Take, push, rook f1. Again, at the very least I have a draw. I don't see it. It's got to be some quiet move. Problem is white's threatening repetition. That's really frustrating. I go back. Oh, this is so risky. I might go for it though. YOLO. Oh, that's not what I want. That's so risky. The time situation. Threatening this. Potential rook ending. Queen d7. I mean, the rook's ready to come in. Maybe. This rook as well. Yeah, there's threats here. It's useful I'm pinning the bishop, so if takes, there's no bishop e5. Also defending against this. Yeah, I'm not sure what move to expect. Rook f2. I burned too much time there. Not at all what I want. Rook e1 loses. Oh no. What is happening? Takes I played this check first. Oh, good game, good game. I lost on time. Also blundered a bishop in the scramble. Did I miss mate in one? Oh no, I missed mate in one. I thought white was neutralizing the rook. Forgot about the other rook. What to do? Almost came in clutch. How much time did I have there? That was such a nice sequence. And the accuracy of this game. We were both in the 70s. GG. I had 3 seconds to find the maiden one. Yeah, what to do? Completely collapsed. I could have taken the rook too. Good game though. Let's check the middle game. Wow, so white's much better here. Yeah, I guess I kind of underestimated this plan. I felt like it kind of worked out. Okay, white could have punished me. It's giving +1. I don't fully understand why though. Queen c2. I guess the position's a bit awkward for black. It's hard to actually achieve this effectively. Yeah, I took a lot of time here. Like, I couldn't find the win. So queen d2, which I didn't consider. What's the idea? Rook a e8. Ah, I see. A queen on d2 helps defend against rook h6. I was only looking at this, this, and this. Because I wanted to play like this, this, and this. Like, if I just consider queen d2 and see the idea, then it's understandable. Yeah, I can't go over this because white forces perpetual. Okay, so mischances this game. Yeah, I went for queen h4, huge risk, which ultimately did not pay off, but led to better content, I guess. Okay, first loss of the tournament. Maybe I should retire from the Dutch opening. Or maybe at some point I'll try and redeem myself in the Dutch. Just have to learn it better. Okay, e4. Can we get a Halloween gambit? There have been requests for an alien gambit too. So maybe, just maybe. Okay, alien gambit is only after knight f6, knight g5. This is like a classical Caro-Kann mainline. So I'll just play like a normal opening here. I'll play knight. No, there's a few ideas. There's h4. Actually, h4 might be the first move. How does it go? I know there's knight h3 as well. I played this in a serious OTB tournament. I think it was the Qatar Masters 2023. And I'm pretty sure like the most popular approach is to commit to h5 and then trade bishops. But there is an idea to leave the pawn on h4. Oh wait, I was supposed to play knight e5 there. I'm mixing up lines a little bit. But I think the ideas still kind of stay the same. The idea with keeping the pawn on h4 and not committing to h5 is eventually I want to play g4, g5. And have the hook on the king side, probably castle queen side. Black plays c5. Is it a free pawn? And black wins it back with queen a5.
Happy New Year.
I think I take it though.
Non-chess goals for 2026.
A non-chess goals. Good question. I want to focus on my health. Eat better, sleep better, exercise more. Knight c6. I want to improve my tennis game. I'm part of a tennis league. First match is coming up. I haven't played tennis in a few months, so I'm a little bit rusty. Okay, I'm trying to figure out how to best like defend the pawn. Like bishop e3. This bishop e3 develops and defends. I don't mind the queen trade. What's your tennis rating? Tennis has a different like rating system compared to chess. I think it's around like 3.5 USTA.
Happy New Year. Any thoughts on why Blitz seems more popular than Rapid? I'm still only 1600 elo and it has always been more interesting to me to solve the puzzle you're creating instead of relying on intuition so much just to lose in a time scramble.
Yeah, I definitely understand that perspective. I mean, when it comes to over-the-board chess, like classical chess is still way more prevalent, and there's also more emphasis on it compared to Blitz or Rapid. But yeah, online chess, I think people don't have super long attention spans, so naturally there's more Blitz and bullet games. But there's still a huge kind of community of players that do play Rapid online. And there's also like various leagues online for the slower chess too, like the 45-45 league. Which I haven't played myself, but I know John Bartholomew has been involved with it for a bit of time. Wow, rook d8 counterattacking my queen. I think I just play queen c4. Like in such cases, you wanna consider all the crazy queen moves, like queen h7. These moves don't really work. 39 minutes left. I'm in 63rd place. Mathematically, even if I berserk win games quickly, I don't think it's going to be enough. But welcome back, James Flack. Future streams, I'll try and make a better effort to win tournaments. I think I'll just castle here. I've committed to h4. We're not going to see this g4, g5 idea. At least probably not. And the goal is to get the rooks connected, challenge the d-file. Bishop f4 is also a resource. Knight d5. So tickling the bishop. Play bishop d4. Actually, it's knight d4 too. I'll play bishop d4. I have some nice piece placement. Okay, that should not work. The bishop's defended enough times. Almost a tactic, but just a blunder. Live stream tennis. I used to. Did go through a tennis live streaming phase. But the quality was difficult because you do it from the phone. It's hard to monitor chat. Sometimes hard to get the right angle too. But if you go on my extra channel, I do have some tennis videos there. Some point highlights. Some tweeners. Knight h5. There's so many options here. I'm debating if I want to take on g7. think just bishop c3. Ultra solid. Can I get chat on the Apple Watch? I remember like trying to look into that at some point. Maybe it's possible now. Okay. Going for some attack. What's 3.5 comparable to in chess? Maybe like 1700? 1500? I don't know. Have I played any gambits in this tournament? Have I? I'm sure there's got to be someone watching that's been paying closer attention to my openings than me. First game was Nimzowitsch. Second game was Grünfeld. I played a King's Indian. I don't think I've played too many gambits, actually, if any. I played e4. I wanted to play an alien gambit this game, but ended up in a Caro-Kann, like classical mainline. Alright, I'll take on g7. You posted a short on YouTube. Yeah. I guess that was the most recent tennis video I posted, was the tweener shorts on the main channel. Fun fact about that video, my doubles partner was Grandmaster Leonard Dominguez. I don't think anyone like commented like recognizing him. He's a good tennis player. Okay, yeah, this worked out nicely. This attacked all the things. Not sure if there's much to analyze. Like right after I played bishop d3, I regretted not playing knight e5 first. I think is slightly better move order. Anyway, moving on. Okay, improving my standing. Top 60. Staying above 2,500. Is Esserman the best tennis player of chess players? Yeah, I don't know if I can name a better tennis player who's like a title chess player than Esserman. I heard there's Grandmaster Pascal Charbonneau, who I think considered playing tennis professionally at some point. I don't think he's been actively playing these chess recently. Gambit time? Let's play a Budapest, if my opponent allows. We have the Trompowsky. Am I playing Levy's anonymous Smurf account? No, Levy's been enjoying this recently. Isn't there some gambit like knight e4, bishop f4, e5? Some William Grave. Can I still do it? e5? I just remember seeing a thumbnail of a William Grave. For anyone that doesn't know who that is, he's a FIDE master. Makes a lot of gambit videos on YouTube. But what's the point? Like, it loses a pawn. Take? Let's do it. Let's figure it out. I'm gambiting. I don't know why I'm gambiting, but what? F3? I'm happy to see f3. There's no way that's the best move. Knight f2 is a funny move. I mean, I could take the bishop as well. Take the bishop, take the knight, bishop e7. I guess there's knight f3 in that line. I think I still go for knight f2. Like, just take away white's castling rights. It's a desperado. What a weird position. And then I take the bishop. So this pawn kind of clamps down on white's structure. Queen d2. I guess I have to defend. Oh, I guess there's e3 coming. Okay, I'll play queen f6. And knight h3 walks into this. Maybe now just d5 and I'll develop, support the pawn. Yeah, this should be very pleasant for black. Maybe still playable for white. Like, as much as I want to go for the kill here. Bishop d6, takes. That still looks good. It's FM William Grafe on YouTube. Graif. That's some fun content. If you like Jonathan Schranz, you'll like William Grafe. Okay, maybe just c6. The rook is ready to come in, though. Again, I'm taking time, maybe overthinking this. Castling. Castle. Yeah, let's castle. The e-file is nice. If knight b5, I can take, and bishop f4. The queen side's undeveloped. Rookie, I guess, walks into e4. I feel like I'm slowing down a little bit, just mentally. I'm going to play c5. I want to develop actively, knight c6. Increasing tension. Wow. Okay, can I just take? Yeah, this is trouble for white. The pawn is is stuck defending the knight. So if queen takes, the pawn is overworked. And that's a free piece. Okay, I don't want to lose a pawn. So I guess queen b6 check. And how do I save it? So bishop. Okay, let's start with this. Okay. I guess the way to save the pawn is to induce resignation. Okay, well that worked out. I guess we didn't get to see like me trying to create ideas from this gambit if white just accepts the free pawn. Engine gives plus 0.8. If takes, I guess bishop c5. Maybe without the inclusion of h4, h6, there might be g5 ideas. So d5. Yeah, d6 is another resource. And bishop takes. Yeah, it's probably just a dubious gambit, but f3 was an even more dubious response. Oh, so best would have been to take the bishop. Bishop b4 check, induce c3, bishop e7, knight f3, d5. Ah, bishop g4, and yeah, maybe eventually bishop h4. Kind of hard to see. Okay, moving on. 25 minutes left. To be honest, I'm running kind of low on energy, but maybe we can get one more fun gambit. I see a few people want the Stafford gambits. A few people want the alien gambits. It might depend what color I am. Also depends what my opponent plays. I haven't played the French. If e4, I mean e4 I can't play. Do I play French or Stafford? I'm white, so I don't have to decide. Opponent's provisional, but they've played enough games. E4? Caro-Kann. Going through my arsenal of Caro-Kann weapons. Should I play an alien gambit against this player? Okay. Let's have some fun. Oh, thank you, legendary loner. Oh, we have this line again. Is knight g5 a move? I don't remember. I'm not gonna play it if I don't remember anything about it. I'm just gonna play knight g3. Well, we'll have... do we play the same thing as previously? I'm playing a good player who probably knows theory. Okay, if knight f6, I'll actually remember to play knight e5. But we have knight d7. Okay, so we have a slightly different line than previously. Ah, yeah, the Martian, I guess, is knight g5 after bishop f5. I need to take a lesson from witty alien. Bishop f4, bishop... I think bishop f4. Wait a minute. Or bishop d2, maybe bishop d2. Why am I confused here? Okay, bishop d2. Can't overthink this. It's not worth spending so much time in, especially in a rapid game. Okay, 94 is a move I eventually want to play. It just kind of loses time. So I'll castle queenside. Sort of waiting for black to commit the king. Probably also see castling queenside. I'm actually wondering if I can gambit like this. 95. Take, and then things kind of open up. Let's do it. Also ties down the king to defending if black doesn't take. Okay, this is my gambit. An early middle game gambit. Or a late opening gambit. Sometimes there's ideas of like queen d8 with the fancy checkmates, but it doesn't work when the rook covers d8. Speaking of, rook d8 might be playable here. Doesn't look great though for black. Queen e3 could hit a7. Thank you, the main morgue. First time prime. Yeah, also welcome to everyone tuning in. I see there's one person says first time catching me live. Welcome, welcome. I do plan to stream a bit more consistently, especially this month. Big thank you to Paul Martinez with the super chat. Favorite moment of 2025? Like chess moment or just life moment? I mean, getting married was kind of a big milestone. I hit my peak blitz rating. I would like to say defeating a grandmaster with a Stafford at the World Blitz Championship, but that was right before 2025. Knight g4, wow. So black is gonna win a pawn still. And this is attack twice, defend in no times. This is a triple fork threat. I think I just play knight e4. Centralize, defend f2. Allow this, and then what? Queen g3. It might require some calculation. Knight takes e5, queen g3, castle, bishop f4, definitely compensation. Probably full compensation. Okay. I mean, I didn't calculate so deeply, but intuitively it feels good. Even here, bishop. Black's gonna have to play f6, I think. Knight e4 discourages bishop d6. Doing well on time. There's a question, do you play every Wednesday? Coming up, I'm gonna make an effort to play every Thursday, the 3-0 Thursday tournament. And also Title Tuesday. It's actually been a while since I last played Title Tuesday. Okay, I think I take the rook first. Make black decide. Okay, now I can take the knight, win back the pawn. The thing is, like, takes. If I take too soon, queen d5, which kind of stabilizes for black. So it's a question, like, the move order. I can take, play rook d1, I can play rook d1 first. Okay, I like the idea of taking first, forcing this, and then rook d1. Not rushing with recapturing the pawn. And then the queen will have options like, okay, if queen c7, and maybe go after e6, like queen g6 or queen b3. Queen g6 friends mate in 2 as well. Queen e7, let's calculate. Queen g6, queen e7. Knight d6. Yeah, the knight's gonna hop around. Looks very pleasant. Thank you to Rash. Happy 7 months. SMMV.
Says you were my
Happy
most
9.
watched this year. Went from
Hey, let's go.
1,100 to 1,700 rapid on chess.com. Thanks to you. Appreciates the content.
Nice to hear. Keep it up. I wish I could gain 600 rating points in 1 year. Very nice to hear. Thanks for sharing. Yeah, I think my opponent is realizing their doom here. Maybe best to develop the bishop. And the bishop doesn't have a great place to develop to. The knight is so dominant. If bishop e7 I take and then rook d7. Actually, bishop e4 is the same idea. Thank you, Posh Guy. First time sub. Appreciate a lot of first time subs this stream. Okay, so we do see queen e7. Now I have knight d6, which is my first calculation, like most forcing move, but there's also rook d6. I mean, both moves look so good. I think I stay with my instinct. Yeah, this could very easily lead to some mating attack. Like, kind of swings around. Hitting the rook. Oh, thank you, water is the best drink. I think I've seen that account before. I have coffee, which is probably mostly water. Helps with hydration, maybe. Check, king c7. Okay, let's just take. So I've won back my pawn. It's now equal material. Can I go in for the kill? Rook d7. And this looks really good. I just have to watch out for this idea, which is not even checkmate. I guess there's this idea to win the knight. Oh, this would also win the knight. Sometimes when you have such a dominant position, you do want to ask yourself, like, how could things potentially go wrong? But you can also ask yourself, how can things go right? I get initiative, king a7 is forced, and this will be a pork. It's a pin and a fork. Okay, opponent resigns. Gain 8 rating points for that. Just to show, yeah. Here and then take. So that worked out nicely. Engine doesn't like it so much. I think practically it was fun to play. Like Black's best option is to accept the gambit with queen e5 and... I'd briefly seen this line, but did not fully acknowledge queen d5 hitting a2. But it's still an interesting position. Black a bit underdeveloped. Okay, time for one more. I think next game will be my final game. If I'm Black, I see some Caro-Kann request. Or Stafford Gambit. I haven't played a Stafford Gambit this year. Going through a little bit of withdrawal. Okay. Wow, high-rated opponent. I'll play Stafford if they want it. Oh, thank you, Paul. Appreciate it. Stafford Gambit time. My first Stafford of 2026. White accepts. Oh, they seem prepared. Let's see how much they know. To be honest, I feel a little bit rusty with the Stafford, but it's good that White's slowing down. Go into this. There are a few playable moves for White. I have played this opponent once before, but I was White, so it's not a Stafford. They actually beat me the one time we played. So I want revenge. Yeah, when I play the Stafford against a high-rated opponent, I do have to use the clock as a weapon, because if they refute the gambit, then I need some compensation in the form of time. But this is still preparation for me. White does have a lot of options here. I've probably played this position a few dozen times over the years. This is a so-called magical line. There's a legendary video by Jonathan Schrontz where I think he beats Stockfish? Beats or draws? It's been a while since I watched the video. But the game in that video features f3 and then h4, leaving 2 pieces hanging. So still prep. And if you analyze this position with Stockfish, it will spit out like probably +3 in white's favor. But it can be hard to play precisely as a human. Opponent left the game. Yeah, this position can also scare away opponents from playing, maybe. Maybe they just have internet issues. So I am getting a nice time advantage early on. Of course, the idea with h4 is to try and use the h-file. I do want to take on g3. I've probably had this position like close to a dozen times, if not more. Okay, here I have to remember, I think I just take. Leaving the bishop hanging. Queen f2 is now a threat. There's a pin. But I don't remember so much beyond this, so I'm kind of on my own. I think there's good compensation already for being down a piece. Like white's underdeveloped on the queen side. There's already massive pressure. There's a pawn that's 2 moves away from promoting. Bishop e3. Yeah, that's probably the best move. And now... Oh, I do have some memory of this. I think I'm supposed to take and then end up sacking the bishop. Yeah, this is still some sort of prep. Like in 2020, when the world was shut down, I had nothing better to do than to spend hours like running Stockfish, but also Leela at the time in these sort of lines. I remember Leela giving like a more generous evaluation to black, like Stockfish. I vaguely remember saying it was like +4 or 5 in white's favor. And then Leela saying only like +2 around in white's favor. Is this move coming? Oh, King d2. Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, so unfortunately I'm not queening. I mean, can I make threats? Queen h4, queen h1. I might kind of run out of steam. Oh no, my steam. I'm looking for the ways to make this as tricky as possible for white. I think I should start with queen h4. Bishop e6 is kind of interesting to start with as well. Take castle. Yeah, that should be good. But then I might just transpose. Okay. Let's hunker down. Queen h4. I think the bishop just drops back to e7. I develop down a piece, but I have a pawn on h2. It's actually a question, do I want to provoke e5? Wait, maybe I do? I probably do. At least give white the decision to make. Like, do they want to commit to e5? Do they want to leave my bishop defending the pawn? Yeah, so it looks like I lose a tempo, which I kind of do. I'm actually wondering, can I take? Take and then bishop e6 threatening this. But also setting up rook or castling queenside. It's a double piece sack. Take, take, is it worth it to open the file? Usually sacking a bishop is not worth it to open a file, but it's a pretty valuable file. Bishop f4. Okay, I have to calculate. Bishop e5, d5, bishop e6, bishop f4, castle queenside. If bishop d3, bishop c4 looks good, if king c2... King c2, queen h7, king c1, bishop d5, queen h2, queen e4? I'm doing it. A double piece sack. It just looks like too much fun. I might run out of steam, but white might run out of time trying to figure out how to defend. Wait, I should consider this too. Take, take, and then... No, I can't castle, but I have rook d8. No, I think it just fizzles. Thank you, Traunched Cake. Appreciate the sub. Okay, so this is a big threat. This bishop f3 I take and promote. And this also feels like a big threat. So I'm not sure what to expect. I was calculating this move. Yeah, let's start with this. So I have 2 pawns for bishop and knight. Yeah, I was doing some vague calculation, but I need to be more concrete. So queen h7 is one candidate move. Queen f2 walks into this. And queen e1. Just don't know if I have a threat, but it's interesting because then white's kind of paralyzed. And similar idea with bishop e4 is also interesting. Forcing this. Yeah, bishop d5, queen h2, bishop e4, king b3. And then queen e1. And I'm kind of invading. But again, I don't know if it's enough being down 2 pieces. So bishop d5, take queen e1 first. Then bishop d3. So I think I have to start with bishop e4. That's so hard to judge. Bishop d5. I think I might just play it. Bishop d5, take, check, king d3, queen e1. And white's a bit stuck. If knight d2, I check and take the rook. And the king's super awkward. Yeah, my original calculation, I don't think is as attractive. Like, there's queen e4, but what am I threatening? Yeah, let's go for this. Oh, I forgot about queen g3. No, queen g3 loses a bishop. Bishop g3 allows queen c1. Okay. Going in. Yeah, white's a bit stuck because the knight's pinned. Also attacked. Like, I might be threatening to take. Queen's tied down to defending this. This is kind of defending queen d1. And the king is just kind of asking for trouble. The concept of a3, king a2 maybe is playable, but again, I can just take on b1, I think. The tournament's over. Wasn't paying attention to the tournament timer, so this game won't count for the tournament. But still counts for my Stafford record for the year. Oh, I forgot about c4. Ooh. Yeah, that's a good move. I was feeling optimistic for a moment, but I might actually be in trouble. Yeah, bishop d5, c4. I take the rook, I lose that. And it's 3 minor pieces for rook and 3 pawns. Just looking for other options. Take the rook first. I think I should play this. I'll take with pawn. Okay. Yeah, good find for my opponent. Oh dear. This might actually be big trouble. Yeah. Ugh. Great find. Queen c1. c5, I don't think works. I think I have to go for this. Do I have b5? Takes and then check. Approaching desperation mode. It's not pretty. Wow, what a move. Queen d1? I can't take because I get mated. I have rook f7. That's a great move. Take on g4 maybe. This move. Oh, it's difficult. I'm in trouble. Maybe I can get away with taking. I don't lose instantly. I defend e6. I'm down 2 pieces for 3 pawns. Young children, close your eyes. Take this move.
Hi from South Dakota.
Hello. So I defend g7 from a distance. This is terrifying. Opponent just wants a queen trade. Might have to give in. Queen g4. Let's keep queens for as long as possible. That forces it. Get the connectors. Okay. Push. Push. Fork. Oh no. Okay. This is a well-known endgame. This 2 pawns against king, where the only way to win is to queen to sack the pawn and then promote. Okay. Yeah, just to show king here, 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 here. Crazy game. So I'm 1 out of 1 with the Stafford this year. Not sure if it's deserving though. Opponent played very well. He actually managed to weather the storm of sacrifices. So this line is objectively good for white. Taking the knight, bishop e3, best move. Engine prefers rook g1. Yeah, I was remembering some very deep analysis where black can sack this bishop with bishop e6. And assuming white takes, then rook d8, knight d2, and white's up 2 pieces, but white's kind of stuck after queen h4. It's really hard to find a productive plan for white. Of course, it's still objectively much better, but still maybe practically playable in an online rapid game. Thank you, Owen. Appreciate the super chat. Okay, let's see what happened. I'm curious if this sack was sound. It's actually the top move, bishop takes e5. Yeah, my original intention was bishop e7, but this looked fun. Okay, so black has nothing here according to the engine. I should take the pawn and cut my losses. I went for this. Wow. So it's +5. Because of what my opponent played, knight d2. Oh, e6 also good. Yeah, white just untangles and has the minor pieces. But I was able to keep the game going long enough. The endgame was interesting, actually. This once the pawn gets to d3, I blundered the fork, though. This is winning, knight c4. But then later... So this is objectively a draw. Oh, but then I blundered another fork, which white missed. So this is winning. Yeah, I didn't want to take the draw, and my opponent, I think, was pre-moving back and forth and gave me this. Oh, king c2, yeah, diagonal opposition keeps the draw. Okay. Engine says... Oh yeah, engine says this is a draw. Anyway, that was a lot of chess. Thank you everyone for tuning in. A lot of fun games. I'm gonna end it here. Thanks everyone for the support, the good vibes. Appreciate all the subs and resubs and super chats. Oh, wife is in chat, says, wow, I'm so proud. Okay, thank you, wife. Yeah, I'll be back in the future. Stay tuned for more. And goodbye.